Colt II. The Colt I was released mid to late 90s. It's pretty similar. It was a few millimeters smaller. I think it was 300 meters water resistant. This one here is 41 millimeters, so it's not a very large watch, but definitely a men's size watch. Really, the biggest dimension that might catch people off guard would be it's a pretty thick watch. It stands pretty tall. I've not measured it, but it stands pretty tall on the wrist. However, the case back actually even adds more to it, so I would guess probably 13 to 14 millimeters anyway. This watch, I'm not sure if I mentioned, 500 meters water resistant. We've got a sapphire crystal with dual anti-reflective coating, which, as you guys can probably see, the crystal pretty much disappears, which is just something, except when there's light directly on it like that. Otherwise, I was out in direct sunlight today, and I can turn the thing around and the dial is legible. Just well done. It's a little smudged around the edges here, which is the really only drawback from having an exterior coating, but having a dual coating gives the best look in my opinion. We have a 120 click bezel. Here, let me see if I can get some light on it. Works easily. There's no really teeth on it, as you see. Like most bezels have either indentions or what they call coin edge, but turns easily. There's an okay sound to it. Everything lines up well. There's just an itty bitty bit of play vertically, very little. I just feel it move a touch. There's no play in that direction. It's securely in place. As we can see on the dial here, I got a blue dial, which kind of strange. I never really kept blue dials for very long, but I've becoming more appreciative of them and their versatility. Just a normal three-hand watch, and one thing you guys might notice, it's a quartz. Now, why buy a quartz in a somewhat high-end watch? Well, I'll be quite honest, I can't really afford automatics, and I'm primarily an automatic kind of guy, but I also feel that people should have a quartz or two around, if for nothing else, for convenience and just diversity of a collection. And they're also, in all seriousness, probably going to be tougher than an automatic in terms of the vibrations and hits that they can take. So for those of you looking for the tool watch, really and honestly, a quartz will better serve you if you're actually thinking of subjecting your watch to some harsh environments. Of course, I will apologize to you marathon and Zen fans out there for that. Of course, Zen has the UX, so that's another story. Onto the functions of the watch. Relatively simple, not a whole lot of complications. Just got the date, aperture here, well done. The dial's got some texture to it, which is pretty nice. It's a simple dial, yet it's got some extra writing on it, and the textures really kind of make it look classy but sporty. I think this watch would be at home in a lot of different situations. The color goes from almost like a black to a dark blue to like a steel blue, really depending on how much light's hitting it. Most times it's really kind of a steel gray, which like a gray blue color actually, than more of it. A lot of pictures showed up like right this second. It looks really kind of dark blue, and I turn it a little bit. You can see how it kind of changes color. I haven't mentioned the bracelet. Breitling has primarily on their Aero Marine watches uses one of two bracelets, the Professional 1 and the Professional 2. Fortunately, since I was buying used, you can't always be picky, but fortunately I prefer the Pro 2 as compared to the Pro 1, and this is what this one has. It's very comfortable and compares pretty well to another watch I'll be reviewing later, my Omega Seamaster, which is on the Speedy bracelet. The Speedy bracelet is a step above this one, but the Omega was twice the cost, so I'll I'll let it slide on the Breitling. Alright, you see here on the buckle we got extreme close up. We got Breitling 1884. Got a few desk marks here. Like I said, it was used, but no complaints there. They would get those eventually anyway. One thing I like about it, we have a screw system here. Actually 2 screws per link, and actually a video by Breitling Source on here on YouTube will actually show you how to size these. The way I believe it works, I watched it once. You take the screws out, see the pieces here, and the bracelet comes apart piece by piece. And this one I would assume is one of the easier bracelets to size compared to some of their pilot bracelets that may have 7 links, which I would imagine become somewhat aggravating to put back together. Got kind of a standard flip lock bracelet that comes out easily, and the only kind of quibble I have is the way it's shaped. I really can't get my thumb behind it to flip it open, so actually it happens easier by just pushing that. Excuse me, that's my aim. Let me turn that down. Alright, I'm back. We got a scissor clasp, and one thing I like that is actually done better than Omega, it's actually engraved Breitling. Let's see. We have manufacturé in Suisse. I'm sorry if I just completely butchered that. I'm on cold medicine. But here, as of recently, I've become a fan of nicely done case backs versus exhibition case backs. And I'm not really sure why. I'm just weird sometimes, kind of fickle. But very nicely done, kind of the traditional Breitling case back. No really notches, just kind of indentions here to take it off if you need it. Of course, solid end links, fits in there well, no rattles or anything. And another thing, now we have dogs. Another thing I noticed when I handed it to a few people today, they commented on the weight, which really did surprise me as well. I expected this watch to be a little bit lighter. The Longines Hunter Conquest I have is probably my heaviest, but I was just really surprised that even though it's quartz, it's actually probably the second heaviest watch I have, and it's probably the smallest. So again, somewhat counterintuitive there. So, but we'll show you the crown. Crown's really smooth. And just, pops out. Pop it back in. And you see it's just tighten it up. And getting back to the quartz, I forget the exact year, late 90s, early 2000s, Breitling went to an all chronometer company, meaning that all their watches are going to be COSC certified. Even their quartz models, which is something that's somewhat rare nowadays considering how accurate even your standard quartz watch is. Excuse me. But Breitling uses what they call a super quartz, which is pretty much an ETA 955 series thermo line. And what's special about that is it's a quartz that is thermocompensated. And what that means is that as the temperature changes, the quartz module can correct the beat rate to make the watch more accurate, because in a standard quartz, as the temperature gets warmer or colder, it can affect the accuracy. So this watch makes up for it, and even though Breitling specs it to plus minus 15 seconds a year, ETA says it's plus minus 10. But overall, a great watch. One of my favorites, probably second to my Omega. But if you have any questions, check us out at watchtalkworld.com, and I'd be happy to help you. Thank you.